Hey everybody, it's Alexia from amysticspath, back to bring you guys some more clarity. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching the energy reading for the total lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius, which is taking place tomorrow, May 26th, 2021, and it will be Wednesday at the time of when the total lunar eclipse is exact. Now, I want to kind of dive in and see what it is that this lunar eclipse is bringing for us, as well as how we need to work with this energy or messages that Spirit wants us to know while working with this energy. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started in saying how this lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius is going to affect us down here on Earth collectively. What is this energy trying to do for us? Okay, so of course we have house 9 popping up because this is the house that Sagittarius naturally rules. So house 9 is present. We also have the energy of Saturn, Sagittarius, and fixed. All right. So within this, I see we have the energy of Saturn. All right. And we have the energy of Sagittarius. So I feel like, as well as house 9, and this is spiritual growth. So I feel like there will be some growth that is happening. All right. And for some people, it may be spiritual growth, but it's not fixated on that. Saturn is here, and this is speaking of our structures and our commitments, making sure that they're sound before we go into the future. I feel like Saturn is putting his hand up and saying, wait a second, is this stable? Is this dependable? Before we move forward, and making sure that things are stable and dependable. This can happen in relationships. This can happen and I'm saying this can happen because I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself of saying that there may be some situations showing to you where things need work or need to be banished. Like, it may not even be saying that, oh, this one thing is blocking you. Okay, or it may be that something needs to be removed altogether, and it's not just something that's blocking you. Something needs to be removed that is not aiding to your growth. So this full moon / lunar eclipse is going to aid us to exposing. And it's funny that Saturn is here because Saturn is working as well because he just went retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. So we're also seeing things that aren't going to work, I feel like, for humanity and compassion being exposed under the light of this lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius, because of the fact that Saturn is really looking at things that are about compassion and humanitarian rights, and as well as technology, things like this that Aquarius rules, but he's really focusing on the impurities of things that need to change before we have growth for the future. And not even before we have growth for the future, but before we can be accelerating into the future, okay, or into our next phases of life. All right, we have the Let It Go card, all right, which is saying that there's some things that may have to be released, some things that may have to be let go of. All right, so there may be some things that need closure or that need to be exited out. Sometimes you just need to write things down and get it out of the way and move on. All right, and journal that out, as well as focusing. And this is kind of like a double thing. The storyteller card is like writing down the issues that you're having or the things that are causing disruption, venting that out, and then moving on. Sometimes you can even burn it afterwards. But this is also speaking of, at this time, of really looking at the endless possibilities of what can be manifested when you're not looking at things on a time constraints, but looking at things of really how it is that you can manifest within time, if that's making sense, within matter, within using your own power, per writing things down and envisioning. All right. But this can only happen after you let things go and you release those blockages or things that may be in your way. That has to happen first, because Saturn is saying that this cannot come with you, this cannot go, even if you didn't realize it before. So I'm definitely feeling like exposure of weak traits and tendencies, as well as foundations, any weak foundations. We have the galactic mushroom that flew out, as well as benefactor. And I really feel like this is saying that to remain graceful, because the divine is watching, to remain loving and compassionate, even though things may be frustrating, because they're going to be frustrating for everybody, and the divine is watching. And there's this energy of the power of composure within holding grace and generosity for another human being. We have the horned cactus, which is speaking of resourcefulness and drifter experiencing life as it comes. I feel like there's an energy that you can't really like prepare for how it is that Saturn is going to work for you, other than being resourceful, paying attention, and doing things at a very good logical, makes sense, like this is how, like what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like not the energy of taking shortcuts to get past anything, not taking shortcuts to get past what it is that may need to be, that is being exposed to you. Because if you are taking shortcuts and you're not doing things authentically, it's not really removing the problem. And that is another thing that this is going to expose, is that it may be something that is coming up again for some people. All right. And then this Five of Wands is showing almost the frustrating, tense energy that is applied for things to go the way that they need to go. Three of Swords, and it may cause frustration, but it is in divine union for the best benefit of what it is that is the outcome. And we have the Nine of Cups to support that as well. So I feel like, and we have the World card here on the bottom as well, which is signifying the happiness that will, especially within the Nine of Cups, that will come from letting go of things that are being exposed to you that aren't working out in your favor. And I want to say, guys, Saturn is a heavy hitter, and Sagittarius is known for, of course, its fun, loving energy, but it's an energy that can be very serious and very rigid and very explosive as well. So I wouldn't feel like pushing against this energy would really be the best thing. I feel like we need to be more in a place where we're being kind of stable and reserved within our actions. Yes, King of Pentacles to support this, as well as the Two of Wands. And this is speaking of being very stable and focusing on standing on your own 2 feet on the ground, not getting carried away, and being very focused almost in your physical life and how that's going and how you want that to go, and remaining in control of that. And how we remain in control of that is we don't get engulfed in the trigger of these exposures, right? We're trying to see them from a more practical point of view and seeing where it is that we have to go. What is it that we have to do to move on from this place? But just know that the things that are getting exposed, if they're getting exposed for you this week, it is because the sign of Sagittarius and the planet Saturn are working together to show you the weak foundations that aren't aiding to your success and what it is that you're trying to pull in your life. Whether this is a big vision, a big dream of yours, or if it is just something that you're trying to pull in. Now, we have the Two of Pentacles, which is saying to be making sure that you are as balanced as possible and focused. We have the Nine of Wands, who's saying that we're focusing on our prize and what it is that we want to do, what it is that we're moving towards, and we're not getting engulfed in emotions and what type of road that can lead us down, because it might be a completely different road that we end up turning on and getting a detour that wasn't necessary because we got engulfed in the fiery energy of frustration, and also how the energy of kind of acting out and rebellion that may even happen because of the frustration. All right, and rebellion is something that the energy of Aquarius rules, where Saturn is sitting. So I want you guys to be mindful, and especially mindful how it is that you're getting triggered and how it is that you're treating people, making sure that you're being of compassion, and understand that the things that are being exposed, it is either to show you something, whether it is that someone or something may not be good for you, or that there is a trigger that is being exposed that you need to work on before you move forward. All right, so really be intentional about how it is that you're moving. And I feel like that the universe wants you to open up to also the possibilities that can happen through envisioning and writing down manifestations. This is also with release work. If you are envisioning what it is that you want to release and what it is that you want to exit out of your life, and then you manifest that through writing it down as well, is also something that is very effective. Just be aware that when you are manifesting to make changes and to remove blockages and to move forward, that things will start to change and shift within your everyday life as a result of what it is that you're energetically putting out there. So be prepared to do the work. Any type of manifestation isn't a cheat sheet to get past the work. And like I said before, Saturn isn't going to play that. Saturn is not playing that right now. Saturn says you need to be on your P's and Q's, on your toes, and responsible, and paying attention to where it is that your time is best served, like best used, best served for what it is that you're trying to achieve. Do not get caught up in the extra energy that we all know regular full moons can bring, let alone a lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. And of course, the sun is in the sign of Gemini. So be mindful and make sure that we're not making indecisive, impulsive decisions, because that is also a trait of both Sagittarius and Gemini. All right, be very intentional on the empires and what it is that you are trying to build and what it is that you're trying to pull in. And also letting those emotions kind of flow through you and not be absorbed, especially when we're out in public and mingling with other people. Chaotic energy can get transferred very easily just by standing too close to someone. And then all of a sudden we're angry or frustrated about something that we may not have control over because we got too close to somebody that is doing or that is having a hard time, and we don't have the proper energy blockers up, right? And we kind of got exposed to that. Be very, very mindful of the emotions that are yours and that aren't yours, because when we have chaotic energy flying around, we're feeling it off of a collective level as well as from the energy that we are intermingling with. So be very aware of that, and even ask yourself, why am I so angry and frustrated? If you get angry and frustrated or overwhelmed, and see if that energy is yours, just because of the fact that there is so much going on at this time. And just, again, be mindful and focus on where it is that you're going and where it is that you're trying to go. You do not want to be derailed. And Saturn gives the best reward for people who stay focused. Okay, during tough times, when you could easily choose joy or excitement or even frustration and crack and derail yourself from what it is that you're supposed to focus on. If you focus and really be mindful and not let the energies of the outside world and chaotic energy that's going on within the collective, that is going on within the cosmos, because as above, so below, then you will be greatly rewarded on where it is that you're trying to go by Saturn, as well as by the energy of Sagittarius. Why? Because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is adding to luck, growth, and expansion, as long as you are focused. And again, this is for people that have very big goals that they're trying to crush, as well as people that are trying to just move or start a new job or whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you're trying to pull in for yourself, that's your next achievement, your next goal, your next mark. But for some people know that there's a very big vision or a very large picture that they've been working towards. Nevertheless, this energy is working for you guys the same. It just depends on the potency of what it is that you are trying to bring in and how far you are away from that. But please make sure that you are just being mindful, you guys. And I hope that this reading has been helpful for you guys and that you get everything that you need out of it, and then everybody has a great day. Mwah.